The best way to fail at any game development is to never try. But if you never try, it could be argued that you would never fail. So let's assume you do try. Here's how to fail. Sandbox games, because Minecraft. And you want to make a few $1 billion by taking the top spot of the most sold video games ever. Kinda interesting how most of them are sandbox games. Oh, and also PUBG is supposed to be, like, right here. My bad. Also, Minecraft is the only type of sandbox game there is. It's not like any game where the main goal is virtually optional definitionally qualifies as a sandbox game. Because nobody cares about definitions anyway. In fact, sandbox games are all about the player making their own goals, so you don't even need to bother coming up with a goal at all. Just throw a bunch of unrelated crap together and declare it's a game because you said so. Besides, what really makes a sandbox game is the ability to build stuff. Already have an RPG, a roguelike, a tactical strategy game? Add the ability to build at least one building and you can include the tag sandbox game in your Steam tags. It's that easy. When making a sandbox game, you have two options. 4 items that somewhat interact with each other, but you can only play with them after you get through the required 6-hour tutorial and unlock them one by grinding 3 weeks for each component. Or an incredibly complex and intricate system of mechanics and interactables that have the capacity to trigger the singularity with absolutely no explanation for how any of it works whatsoever. No, you cannot make an intuitive in-game system or guide for explanation unless, of course, you make the UI unbearable. No need to add useful features such as a search bar or a crafting progression map. Quality of life features are for games that succeed, so don't do that. When making your sandbox game, remember it's not really a sandbox game unless you have infinite terrain generation. It doesn't matter what kind of stuff you have to fill that space. All you really need is room for the sand. If you don't go that route, then stuff all that sand into arbitrary limitations. We wouldn't want players expressing themselves. The only way they should play your game is the way you want them to. While making your sandbox game, never forget the reason you are making a sandbox game in the first place. It's so that you can make a game that you enjoy playing in a certain way. And all other players should play that way too. Because players are dumb and don't know how to have fun. That's why we give sandbox games options, so that players can choose the ones you want them to. So if you notice players having fun playing your game in a way that you don't like, release some updates as soon as possible, patching that unintended gameplay out. And do so without adding options, toggles, or sliders enabling or disabling those features. This is a sandbox game after all. We only want to give the illusion of options. Also, don't bother making your game easily moddable. Sandbox games are just not suited for that kind of thing. Besides, if someone made a mod based on your game that was better than your game, we wouldn't want reasons for people to buy your game, right? Well, if the community that, let's be honest, never comes to exist, starts to really love certain mods, the best thing you can do is completely ignore it. If you added an idea to your game that someone else came up with, it wouldn't really be your game. Now would it? Besides, why would you want to add something that at no cost to you has been tested and proven to be an extremely popular addition to your game? That's just stupid. And lastly, when adding a story to your sandbox game, make it linear. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got for that one. You definitely don't want a dynamic lore-based story. That would be a bad idea. Just make it linear. Really, there are lots of options out there for you to fail at making a sandbox game. And any approach that works best for you should be avoided. You have to do it the way I said. Rewatch this video and follow these instructions exactly. You don't get to fail the way you want, you fail the way I want. And if you follow these instructions exactly, then you are bound to succeed at failure. Hey, thanks for watching. This script I actually had a really hard time writing. And I don't know why, because sandbox games are like the only thing I play. I had all these great ideas, but none of them I just couldn't get them out. And so I asked Discord and YouTube, and you guys had some really great ideas, and it helped me finish the script. So thank you so much. And I don't know why you're still here. Why are you still watching? The video's over. Get out of here. Go away.